Hello, hello! It's time for DTM racing action again here at CLR. Round 4 it is today at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. Entering the second half of the season already. As always, we are just a couple of minutes away from the actual qualifying session today. It looks like we have a lovely weather today in the Ardennes forest. That's nice to see. And let's get you in a lobby. Final minutes of warm-up. Then we have the 10-minute session plus 1 lap. As always, sunny, lovely conditions today, both in the qualify as well as in the race later on. Can Sluxy win round number 4 as well? So far he was victorious in all of the previous 3 rounds. Is Spa track for Sluxy and the BMW. Okay, Equinox go for his first win. Finished second in all 3 races. Do we have a surprise winner? Maybe Super Sub Ishmael today in the Aston Martin Vantage V12? Who knows? Who knows? So letting the drivers know that we are starting soon. Drivers will start with 25 liters of initial fuel in this session, so I have a bit of a lighter car. And then it's 10 minutes to know about the lap times. 2:16s, maybe 2:17s, not sure about the BoP updates we had recently, but something around that would be my guess for a pole position, at least. And yeah, that being said, let's start the qualifying session for round number 4, DTM 2025 Mini Series, presented by Community League Racing. Let's go. With the regulation times 1 tire wear times 1 fuel consumption. It's BoP with the option to change the downforce settings. So front and rear aerodynamics can be adjusted as always in this series. Racing soft tire and racing mediums are available for the drivers. No mandatory tire during the race, so usually it will be the soft tire. And always Windows update wants to restart when I'm streaming, so that is not cool. Just get it out of the way to have an uninterrupted stream. Let's have a look at the cars. So Nebada in the AMG, Sluxy in the BMW, and we have Stu in the McLaren 650S SRT in the lonely Ford Mustang today. Only Mustang on the track. Eco with another McLaren. Equinox in that Audi R8. Webern Porsche 911. Rick in the Ferrari. Ishmael in this Aston Martin. Nick, another Porsche on the grid. And Henry, first race with us in the Inferences car livery, BMW it is. Jimmy, Steve, Misha, Husky, Audi R8. And then we have two drivers doing another outlap. That's Evoque in the Ferrari and Ovich in the BMW. Right, so the Slugsy got into the lead. And then we go on board with the Slugsy for the first hot lap here at Spa Francorchamps. Starting on the lap. And then roughly at 100, Drake for Lassour's turn 1, the downhill right hander. Be careful with that power in the BMW. Past the pit exit, down towards the famous Eau Rouge, the entry left up towards Radion over the crest, flat for Slugsy, then on to the Camel Straight. We go for a good opportunity in the race to go for a move, then start off the crop on the left hand side. You start for Lecombe, the right left chicane. Bring your car over, open up the turn for the next right-hander, reverse into Brussels downhill. The slow right-hand turn. Come out of it, get ready for No Name, Speaker's Corner, Checky X, whatever you want to call it. Going into the double gauche, Pouhon, that double left-hander. Coming out of that one, and then we brake for the piff-puff chicane, right into the left again. And now into the Stavelo complex. Stavelo 1, the entry. Get early onto the power. Turn in for Stavelo 2. Carry the speed on the exit. Don't run onto the Astro. On the exit, it will slow you down. Past the penalty zone. We will probably see a couple of track limit penalties. And then approaching the fast Blanchimont left-hander. You go. No drama for Slugsy. Getting ready for the final chicane, previous known as bus stop. We go right into the left, come out of the fountain, a little bit of a wiggle, and then we see a 2:18 for the first lap for Slugsy. So where is Ney? 2:19. SRT with a 2:19 as well. Equinox 2:17.5. Currently P1. Eco crosses the line. Ishmael got a run up to P2 with a 2:18.2. And we see Henry with a 2:21.4 P6 currently. Rick with a 22.9 Ferrari P7. We saw Eco Nick at 29. Stu with a 2:30, so still some time left in those laps, pretty sure. Husky on that flying lap coming out of Stavelo. Will he get into the top 10 of that first flying lap? Let's wait for the last couple of turns. Yeah, sub 220 by the looks. A bit too wide on the Astro. 219.2. It was a valid lap. P4 it is at the moment. So Stu Evoque is on that flying lap as well. Ovich and Webern also with a fresh run. So Evoque, don't think it's up 220. .222. Ovich also with a 221 maybe? Yeah. It's Webern still on that first time lap. So after the first laps, it is Equinox on traditional pole, Ishmael in P2, Slugsy P3, Neighbor improved, stays in P4. Can Equinox improve on this 2:17.5? No, it doesn't look like. It was a slower lap. Whereas Slugsy 2:18.4 didn't improve. Ishmael improved to 18.0. Top 4 still the same. Husky then in P5. SRT with a new run. 2.5 minutes to go. That's an out lap and one flying lap for drivers, so not much room for errors now. It has to count. See, Henry improved a little bit to 20.2. Ovic with a 21.2, currently P10. Vidovic, Evok, Eco, Nick on the outlap, and Webern completing that flying lap should put him up the order into the top 10. P9 it is for the moment. Alright, less than 2 minutes to go. It's probably the final lap for a couple of the drivers already. Husky improved on the lap time. P5 it is still for the Audi driver. So what about Slugsy? He will get around and do one more lap. So he has one more shot at an improvement. Wasn't too far off his best so far. So final minute of the qualifying. When you cross the line before you see the checkered flag, you get one more lap, full lap. That is, and it's Slugsy. Good final sector, improved to 18.0 as well, P3. So now final lap for Slugsy. Whereas Equinox, improvement maybe coming to 17.4. Yeah, small improvement. What about Ishmael? Looks also promising for an improvement to 17.6. Nay didn't improve, is on that final lap. Husky on that final lap as well. Where Stu in P6 currently to 19.1. Could be an improvement if he nails that final chicane. Yeah, that looks okay. To 17 incoming. To 18.4 still. Before it is only for Stu. Where is SRT on that final lap now? Made it across the line. Rick also on that final lap. Webern finished the qualifying. Best he can get will be P9. The Evo currently the last inside the top 10, but the gap between Evo and Ovic is not much. Also Henry with a chance to get inside the top 10 in qualifying. Eco finished the qualifying. And what about Nick? Didn't get a lap in so far. He's on that final lap. So can he get a valid lap in? Seems to be on a decent run. Don't have an actual reference for you, but should be looking at a sub 220. Keep it steady through the chicane. 218 probably incoming. 219. It's P7 for now. Slugsy, can he steal pole position from Equinox? 17, 18. No, couldn't improve. What about Equinox? Can he keep his pole? Can Ishmael? No improvement for Equinox, so Ishmael, can he grab it? 17.364 on that final run, clutch moment. Or is P4 for Ney, but it looks Stu is still on the lap. Don't think he will be improving with that split sector times to 10 already. Oh, that's too slow at this stage, probably for the improvement. Let's wait and see. Yep, it's just half a second still. So Rick finished, Husky finished, Nick finished as well, SRT. Inovic into the top 10, got past Webern. Henry P12, Evoque P13, and Eco P14. Alright. So then let's quickly grab those screenshots. We'll be resetting the lobby and getting ready for the race. So bear with me. Short moment. Okay. Let's load race settings. And I will do my in-game message to alert the drivers with the regulation single file, double file, start, pit, stop, window, etc. As always. So Sloxy needs to tick in, Evoque needs to tick in, and then I can set the grid order. Can start and place Evoque later. That is okay. So Ishmael on pole, Equinox P2, Sluxy P3, Neighbor P4, Stu 5, with Rick in 6th position. Where is the Rick star? P6, Husky and 7, Nick in P8, and SRT in 9th, that's correct. Ovic 10th, Webern P11, Henry 12. Let's swap them. All right. So formation lab is 100. To learn to type again during the stream. Layout out line pole X right and side. Hit window between race at 20 and 40 with tire change No. Landed. Sorry. Again. I hate my keyboard. So that should be it. So we can get back to, I think, that screen. Good luck. Have a good race. And then let's get round number 4 started. No, don't enter. Start the race, please, you blab. One job to set up the lobby. I'll get there. We wait, so spectate. Have a quick look at the cars and the drivers. So it should be everyone running with the racing softs, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll have a quick run. Oh, it's Nick starting on the medium tires. Interesting. Again, we have one driver that is going for a different strategy already. So we will have this one manual formation lap, like to get up into the right mood and say hello to the fans that joined the racetrack. So big racing weeks here at Spa-Francorchamps. In real life, we had the 24-hour race previous weekend, also GT3 racing action. Today we try to replicate a GT3 grid on Gran Turismo as part of the DTM Mini Series. So I know DTM is currently not racing at Spa-Francorchamps, but they did a couple of years ago. So that's why it's still okay for me to run on that track. So if I had the option, I would rather have them running Zolder in the game. It's not in the game, so we'll have to go with the other Belgian track for this one. Should be still a good race, hopefully. And cycle through our lovely looking grid. Let's see the drivers getting into the mood, warming up the tires at some point, I reckon, to do the famous weaving and stuff like that. But yeah, nice mixture of cars on our grid today. So for the qualifying, the top 3 will also get some bonus points. 3, 2 and 1 for the first 3 positions. Then there will be 25 points for the race victory, 22 P2, 18 P3, and so on. Everyone will get points if they finish, and there's also a bonus point for the fastest lap. Alright, so let's get into double file formation, reduce the speed a little bit. We should get a nice looking formation for the race start. So we come around La Source and then we start at the 24-hour layout start line that's underneath that banner. Should see pretty soon. So we are trying to get into the formation. That looks nice. And then we have Ishmael on the inside line. And we are green. And Equinox with a good start acceleration. Slugsy on the inside. Will he take advantage? Looks like Equinox had a good start. Maybe he jumped that start. He backed out a little bit. I think I want to get slipstream down the Camel Straight. So we have that Aston Martin leading. Got away, should be safe for the run into Lecom. Slugsy P2, Equinox P3, first time into Lecom. Will we see some drama? Someone goes deep, that is Nate Mother over the curb and causes a pile up. Loses the car, gaggle of car there, and oh, that didn't go to plan at all for Nate Mother. Oh, we have to jump directly into the live replay, so it's just nowhere where he could go, and it was all a bit of a mess then after that first braking zone. We'll probably have to dissect that afterwards, see what really happened. Let's try and sort that grid for now. Ishmael stayed in the lead, Slugsy P2 and Equinox P3, and we have Rick in that Ferrari in P4. A little gap to Nick in the Porsche. Oh, who's going really wide. The exit of the fifth half chicane avoids the check limit penalty though. Henry up to P6, Ovich in the 7th, Ewok 8th, SRT in 9th, and Eco P10th, then Husky P11, Weyburn in 13th, Stu P13, and Nay Mother joined the back of that grid. Still has some slipstream out of the McLaren driver. I think we saw a little of a challenge. Slugsy versus Ishmael. So top 3 might be running away with it early. Let's get my favorite camera perspective for the first time this race. Decent exit for Ishmael, who can open up that gap to Slugsy and Equinox with the run into Orouge Radion. 10th already. Nice, and probably a decent setup on his Aston Martin. We see now the cars behind. They're gaining in the slipstream. Good run for Slugsy. 6th gear for Ishmael. That's a bit dying, I think, in the lower revs and that higher gear. So Slugsy gained quite some time, and also Equinox with the challenge looking down the inside. Got that move done for now. Up to P2. Yes, Spa, is it favorable for MRs or FRs? That's always the question. We have an FR car leading, MR car in P2, an FR car in P3, and an MR again in P4. So, yeah, not really sure. Porsche usually a solid choice here, and Nick on his medium tires in P5. Ovich in that BMW moved up a position, a couple of positions, in fact, P6. Ollie versus SRT. SRT around the outside in the Ford Mustang. Gains a position. Ollie on the outside. Can he keep it? It's close with Husky and Ewok. Oh, a little penalty for the Audi driver. But that will slow him down. Also looked like that SRT had a penalty. Can Ewok hold it around the outside at Blanchimont? We can. Did he stay within the track limits? If you go that wide, this is usually tricky, but it looks like he managed to make that move stick around the outside. Of course, he had that overspeed. Oh, let's try and grab that move. It was the end of that move. Maybe we can go a bit further back and see that setup. Yeah, he's around the outside at Blanchimont. Very nice played indeed, both of the drivers. SRG giving the room on the inside. So Husky moves up a spot. So after the top 10, there is a little gap to the next drivers too. Eco, Webern and Neybather. Neybather caught the back end of that grid and it's replay camera action time. So they go side by side into Lecom, a little bit of contact between the two. Oh, let's get this run again. See what happened. Inside, outside, run over the grass for Neybather. On the inside, it's Eco and the McLaren, and it's a little bit of contact, I think, between the two. And we continue with the race. We both run very, very wide on the exit of Rouen. Good close battles. They're in that mid-pack. At the front there of that race, it's still Ishmael leading. Equinox in P2. And Sluxy with a 1 second gap at this stage. That BMW doesn't look that dominant today, at least for now. He's still like within that fight for the win. The second to P2, so has that slipstream range. Rick 4 seconds now the gap, 2 second gap to Nick in P5. Roughly 3 seconds to Obic, who is leading the two BMW. Now Henry P7, not too far behind. The battle of the Beamers, P6, P7. SRT in his Mustang should have some good top end. The Camel straight. It's 1.4. See how that gap evolves. Comes with good speed, then loses a little bit of speed again. Oh, the BMW not too shabby with top end, so the gap stays at 1.5. Husky E9 half a second, but also another half a second penalty. It's entry or exit of Eau Rouge Radion complex. Evoque little gap now in P10, Stu in P11 as well. So Webern could separate himself from Eco, who is still fighting with Neybather for that P13 position. Can the AMG find a way around that McLaren? Looks like he has the outside line now for Pouhon. Can he hold it? Both run very wide. Maybe get some dirty tires. So next chicane will be interesting. Can they manage to keep the racing line? Neybather, yeah, could do that. Eco understeers a little bit. 8/10 that gap for now. Ishmael opening up the gap, 1.1 seconds. Nearly the same gap between Equinox and Sluxy as well. We see some movement throughout the grid, position changing back and forth. What's that? Rick coming out sideways of the final chicane. And this is what I spotted. I think Henry got a pass, Novich. And SRT also right behind the two BMWs this time. It's really, really close. So yeah, could benefit from the toe now on the Camel straight. Tiny little bit of a lift. Now the 6th gear should pull in that slipstream. Gets to the inside and makes that move stick for now. So upper position for the fourth. Husky staying with that pack despite that penalty on the previous lap. And also Evoque is close within that very, very important 1 second range to benefit from the slipstream, up to 1.5 seconds at max. Different brands fighting for those mid-pack positions currently. Nick on the mediums doing a good job keeping up with the pace. Rick Ferrari on the soft tires, half-second penalty. Well, he might lose that position to the Porsche driver. Now let's wait how much he actually lose. It was 1.1, half a second burn through the penalty zone. Nick gets the run, just not enough. And now it's still inside line for the bus stop for the Porsche driver. He has the inside line now. Oops, and gets up to P4. But Rick still has the slipstream at the sharp end. We still have our 3 drivers, like 2.3 P1, 2 P3s. Luxy now dropping out of that slipstream range for a brief moment. We have Equinox chasing down Ishmael. So far that Aston Martin kept the lead since the race start. Good top end down the Camel Straight. Let's get some onboard footage out of the Audi R8. Good evening, chat, by the way. Hello, hello. River confirming that Aston Martin with the downforce tuning is a really, really good car in GT3. We have seen that, I think, in the IRO races, International Racing Organization, the GT Endurance Challenge season, where Group 3 cars are racing from 8 hours to 24 hours here throughout the year. Quick look behind, Slugsy gained 2/10, draws back into the slipstream range. Oops, we stay with Equinox, the onboard for now through Blanchimont. Ishmael defending the inside line, doesn't want to give away that lead. We're under 3 minutes away. Then the pit window will open for the mandatory pit stop with tire change. Will be open for 20 minutes. Two seconds between the top 3, that is still close. Nick P4, already 13 seconds that gap, but it's close between Nick and Rick with a great exit out of Lasso's better traction for the Ferrari. Might get a run into Le Combe. Oh, that might be a cut, not sure. The run at Radio, oh, it was okay. And so much more speed this time. Can Nick go down the inside? No. So Rick up into P4 again, Nick P5. Henry drawing away from that battle group behind him. 1.6 now. The gap to SRT. Another second to Ovic and Husky. And we also have Evoque at the end of that group. Oh, let's make it one more with Stu. Also, the two McLarens are joining that fight for P7, maybe. And we have our bigger gaps for now. 9 seconds for Webern, another 10 for Ney, and Eco, unfortunately, 16 seconds, so some off tracks maybe happened. That gap went up. Oh, and Sloxy got past Equinox. We missed that. And already 2.3 seconds now in the gap. Maybe there was a little bit of a come together between the drivers, or a little off track for Equinox. No, it definitely lost a little bit of time here, so I'm preparing my message. So, pit window officially opened. And Henry goes deep into La Source. The exit was compromised SOT with a nice little gap already, and Henry will be the victim down the straight, pretty sure. Ovic, Husky, double slip. Oh, was a bit pushy, that move. Maybe that also saved Henry a little bit, so he gets a tow from Ovic now, and Husky has to defend that position from Evoque. They go side by side into the comp. Evoque backing out a bit for now, leaves room for Husky. Evoque with a small penalty himself. Let's get Stu's point of view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars not too far away. It's still anyone's game for those positions at this stage. The tire wear, we definitely see some red on those softs after 21 minutes of racing, but still nothing to worry. So this, we will most likely see the pit stop around the 30-minute mark. So soft, the strategy for most of our drivers, and Evoque had to serve the penalty now. Drops back a little bit. While this is still really close. Henry went a bit too deep into the bus stop entry. So free overtake for Husky. And also has to look behind now. We have Stu right in that slipstream. Wide line for the BMW again, trying to focus on the exit. They go side by side. No, they don't. Stu got his nose in front way before Orouge. Might have, no, the slipstream, no, gets a good run. No, not the best. Orouge Radion for Henry. 6/10. Evoque looking, wasn't that close behind. So we see the first drivers into the pit. That is Ney Butter doing his mandatory pit stop. Eco doing the same, so that we can jump into the lead. Where Ishmael has a 3.3 second lead. Now Slugsy and Equinox, they're fighting for P2 at the moment, with Slugsy leading. and compare the tires. Looks okay still for that Audi R8, I think. The rears, they show a little bit more wear compared to the BMW, but I think it's still manageable. So could see them running for 2 more laps, maybe 3. Sloxy staying out, Equinox staying out. Rick in 4th position. Nick. And he will get an idea with the medium tires. So he pretty sure we will see him running the softs on that second stint. Should be fine, and this is still intense and close. P7 downwards. So SRT with a little gap now, 1.7, but then Husky, Ovich, Henry, Evok, and Stu. Looks like we see position changes nearly every lap between those drivers. Again, not the best exit for the BMW, coming out of Radion and loses 2 positions. For now, Stu looking down the inside of his McLaren teammate. They go side by side through the corner. Nice racing. And Henry wants to join that side by side racing action as well. But there wasn't space like for 3 cars. So has to back out of it for now. But will get his opportunity, pretty sure. So you're not sure where to look currently. Many close battles happening at the moment, or about to begin very soon. When I said that SRT had a nice little gap, 1.7, it's under a second. Now it's a great little sector for the Husky. Also towing along Ovich in P8, who keeps that 1 second gap to the driver in front. When will we see the next pit stops happening? Ishmael stayed out, Sluxy stayed out, Equinox stayed out. Ishmael, like, he's gaining 2-3 tenths per lap, nearly 4 seconds at this stage. So 1 pit stop. Now we jump back to that pit stop. Wait for Sluxy versus Equinox. Will there be battle for position into Lecom? No, we don't. So let's see who is pitting. That is SRT in, Husky in, and Evok as well in the pits. They, with a bit of a lonely race in P13. Did what happened? So SRT lost position to Evok and Husky. Did they put a little bit of fuel? I don't know. Maybe he was in front of them. Pretty sure. So we should be expecting the next drivers to join the pit crews and perform their mandatory pit stop. Front left now starting to show some wear on that Aston Martin. We see maybe one more to be sure to get to the end of the race. We also had like one slow formation lap, yeah. So Ish staying out, Slugsy in, undercutting Equinox overcutting Slugsy, however you will put it. What's Rick's decision? Into the pits. Nick staying out, still not trusting those soft tires. By the looks of it. Ovich is in. Stu is in. Henry is staying out for one more. What about Webern pitting as well? So we have Husky on fresh softs, Evo on fresh softs, SRT on the fresh softs. Ney as well pitted quite early. And Eco as well with the early pit stop. So where is Slugsy, by the way? Came out in P4, not got into any kind of traffic, so that probably helps with the undercut attempt. Now fresh soft tires on an outlap without any traffic. It's roughly 4 seconds to Nick. Will be pitting probably very soon. Looking at Equinox tires, I think a pit stop now wouldn't be the worst idea ever, and hopefully this time, but still doing a personal best, but yeah, to like finish my sentence, hopefully this time his wheel won't trick him into choosing the medium tires like last week, where he went for the medium tires instead of the racing softs. Ishmael hitting now. Yep. Equinox also, despite that personal best, middle sector. And Slugsy gained a second on Nick already. So for Slugsy it would be important now that Nick, and he's not doing him that favor, he stayed out. 2.2, where's Slugsy? Also, where are the leaders? Service done, new tires, where's Ishmael versus Nick? Camera. Ishmael. Oh, that was perfect timing for Ishmael. And Equinox, I think he loses that position to Slugsy again, but still has the slipstream. And up to speed after the pit exit. Gets a nice toe down the E-Camel straight. So we are back at where we left before the pit stop, so that one lap earlier pit stop. Slugsy didn't really gain that much. Oh, and then too late for Equinox. Nearly collected Slugsy. Lost half a second with that. Avoided a crash, avoided an off track though. Good racing. So now can he close that gap to get closer once again? Also, when will Nick pit? Still have 7 minutes for that pit stop to happen inside the pit window. Ishmael, he will be pleased to see that there's a car between him and Slugsy at this stage. So Ish pitted, Slugsy pitted, Equinox pitting. Rick also, fresh soft tires. Husky on the second set of the softs. Same goes for Stu and Evok. SRT somewhat the loser of the pit stops for now. Still not sure why. Ovich on fresh softs. Webern pitted. Henry is on the out lap. Also changed the tires. May and Nico. So it's just Nick who needs to pit and staying out for one more. And looks like that Sluxy has a decent gap to Nick and will get an easy overtake at the end of the Camel Straight. It's 6/10. This looks to be like the perfect distance for a nice little slingshot run with that extra speed. Still 6/10. Now it's under 5/10. A perfect run, and he might. Will he get his car in front of the Porsche? It's going deep into Le Corbière. Made that stick, and now Nick sitting between Sluxy and Equinox. And now the middle sector is quite tough to go for a move. So that is advantage for Sluxy. Again, 1.1 second. Yeah, Equinox showed his nose. Don't think Nick is fighting it for now, so around the outside before Pouhon. But it's 1.6 already between Equinox and Sluxy. 3 seconds. Ishmael versus Sluxy, so that gap was nearly 4 seconds before the pit stops. So Sluxy gained a little bit and might be this time the second half of the race where Sluxy shines. For the first 3 rounds, it was usually the first stint where he could open a gap and then basically cruise on that second stint. Cruise like in air quotes, of course. He still didn't have to push that much. 1.9 to Equinox now. Sluxy with a good lap. I saw purple sector times. So we see the new fastest lap of the race now. It's an 18.1 for Sluxy. So 3.2 between Ishmael and Sluxy. 1.8 then to Equinox. And Nick still staying out, so 3 minutes, so that he has to come in this lap. And do the tire change. It's 23 to Rick, so I think we're looking at roughly that gap that you need for a pit stop. Husky trying to close the gap to Rick as well. P5, P6 under 2 seconds. It's possible, I think, still. Let's do a little gap. P7 currently a little bit of a breathing room. Doesn't have to fight. Ewok, SOT trying, to use that slip to bring him closer to the McLaren, and Ovich. He lost, I think, a couple of positions. I think he was P8, P7 at some point now, 10th. It's still close. Next close fight between Henry and Webern. Henry keeps that position for now. Webern in P12. Webern gained quite some time, under 10 seconds the gap to P12 now. Eco again doing a good job getting out of the ways with the blue flags for Nick. So where is Nick? 22.6 to Rick now, so he's losing too much time and he won't be able to get around in time to complete the pit stop. Now it is so pit stop incoming now for the German driver. And finally soft tires, I reckon. It's 22 at the moment, so we'll we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, where will Nick come out? Maybe, yeah, Rick Husky between them, right behind Husky. So changing the tires now, and Rick and Husky coming round La Source. Here is Nick on the exit of the pits, and here just behind Husky for now, 1.4, 1.5, so currently outside of the slipstream range. And he has the best tires for those final 20 minutes and a bit. So 1.8. Now Stu. Gains a little bit of extra speed before Lecombe. Those gaps quite stable. I think SRT lost the position to 35.0. It looked like a spin or an off track. Has to defend the position from Weber now. Definitely that Mustang, not an easy car to drive in the game. So again, big respect for those drivers that tried to run the Mustang so far in the series. They bother gaining and gaining and gaining under 5 seconds. He might join this fight for 11 and 12. Race update, the lead. Ishmael and Slugsy, that gap stays roughly the same. And Equinox also now 3 seconds. This will be a very big mountain to climb. Now to close that gap all by himself, he needs to rely on some penalties in the front runners to get closer again. I think the lap times just too similar, and then to gain. So every one of the top 3 with a 218.2 last time around. So at Husky has that slip. Also Nick with a good outlap, fresh soft tires. He also has the benefit of some slipstream assist down the Camel Straight, and got himself a gap to Stu and Evok. Stu with a little moment near Rouge Radion. Yes, a little bit out of shape currently. Can he regroup? Oh, we have Obich, Evok and Stu now fighting for the positions. Henry in P10. Gap to SRT under 4 seconds. And just 8 attempts to Weber as well. 4 seconds to Neighbor in P13. So battles brewing everywhere with 17 minutes to go. I think we go with that one. P4, 5 and 6. Rick, Husky and Nick. Good run for Husky, bringing the gap down to a second after Stavello and Blanchimont. Let's hear that Ferrari engine and see the view to the cars behind. A good first sector for the Australian driver and also for the German driver. So suddenly Husky feeling the pressure from behind. Looks like Nick in the Porsche running a bit more rear downforce. Didn't gain that much on that Camel Straight, and Husky closed that gap to Rick as well. Different approaches to the setups, also different cars, of course. Ferrari, Audi and Porsche, 3 MR cars. Now P4, 5 and 6. Stu with a moment into no name. What happened to the McLaren driver? So no other car around. Lost the car on the inside curb, jumped over that curb. Bit of, I don't know, focus went, concentration went. And also Ovic dropped position down to P10 again. Joins the fight with SLT and Weber. It's up and down for many drivers in that race. A good pace, a couple of mistakes, and boom, you're in another battle with different cars all the time. Who gets the run into Bloshumovic, defending the inside line. He should keep that. Oh, looks Weber gets a good run as well into the final chicane, right, left. Also the gap comes down between Henry and Stu. No, that is Eco, but it looks it was the third McLaren. Sorry, I didn't see that. So race situation at the front, nothing really changed. Equinox gained a little bit. And Sluxy again half a second roughly, and Sluxy lost half a second to Ishmael. Didn't miss anything. Go back to this three-way fight for P4. Rick, Husky and Nick. I think the gaps are getting closer between those 3 cars, lap after lap. With Nick having the best tires. Changed them very late. And there's a good run out of Stavelo. Is the run enough to go for a move? Husky defends the inside line for Blanchimont, so Nick has to lift. He goes single file. Again, Husky on the inside, but there's a possibility to go around the outside into the bus stop. Nick doing that is late on the brakes. He gets it stopped for the overtake, upper position. Nice one. Let's go with the chase cam and see exactly what happened. Yeah, a tiny bit later than Husky, or Husky was a bit earlier. I'm not sure. Still a nice overtake. And Nick not done yet for this race. Pretty sure he wants to get that P4. 7/10 coming down. Husky not with the best run out of Radion, a second. So he's gonna be the best of the rest. The top three. Yeah, Ishmael untouchable today by the looks. It's like the in P2 managing that gap to Equinox in P3. Ooh, half-second penalty. That's not gonna help. Then we have Rick and Nick P4, P5. Husky stays within that second in P6, so not over yet. And we have the two McLarens, Evoque and Stu, P7 and P8. Henry, Ovich, Webern, 9, 10, 11. SRT within 2:29, lost some time. Also Neighbor had a poor lap, lap 18, 2:34, so he was like within 5 seconds of that group. 10 seconds again. Since the first lap, and couldn't get closer to the end of that pack again. So we jump back to battle for P4, 5 and 6. It's punching up again between the three cars. So now it's looks like 4 laps to go. Maybe 5 for the leaders. There's definitely not much time left. And to go for some moves, Husky with a bit of a moment. This little bit of this sideways action out of Lasso's turn 1. 1.1, 1.2 already. Might be losing that toe. Or if he should be fine by the end of the straight. Then shouldn't be affected that much by dirty air through the middle sector. Might be able to get close to Rick and Nick in P4 and P5 again. Ferrari going sideways. Lost the 10th. But can rely on the good traction in that Ferrari. Nearly went wide at Pouin. Did you show is feeling that pressure now? 3, 4, 10th. It's a good first part of Stabilo. What about the second? Early upshift for Nick, but is gaining. Husky lost that slip for now. 1.6, 1.7. Rick leaving it inside line open for the German driver, and he goes for the move, but then with a cutback, can he make it work? Oh, we have side by side, so a interesting way. But yeah, Rick now with the inside line for Lassours, again going a little bit too deep, and now Nick has that slipstream. He's close, maybe too close already. Needs to lift. Does that. Tries to give him a little bit of a gap. Don't get caught up by the dirty air. Looks okay. 2/10. Slipstream should help him now. It's too late. He has to go to 6th gear. We were losing some top end, and Rick stays in P4 for now. So Husky, nearly 2 seconds and a half second penalty. So he's probably out of that fight for P4 at this stage. Stu and Evoque, the two McLarens, Stu with a penalty, Evoque also with a 1 second penalty. So both cut track limits at some point. Looking at you again, Rouge Radion. Ovich and Webern. Close also Henry is still in that striking distance with a second. At the other gaps, SOT P8, 8 seconds in P12, that way around. Lay in P13 and Eco in P14. 5 minutes 15 to go. That is 3 laps for Ishmael, Sluxy and Equinox, the top 3. Let's wait for Rick and Nick P4, P5 when they cross the line. Will they get 3 laps as well, or just 2? It looks like just 2 laps or P4 downwards. Yep. So 2 more laps for those 2 drivers. Again, a big drift coming out of the bus stop. But our Australian friend keeping that P4. Nick again with the opportunity. Probably no need to lift this time. Can keep it flat. Maybe the run into the comp. And this looks promising for the German driver. This time could keep the power down. Gets the inside line. Should have track position. So Rick back it out of it for now. And then textbook overtake at Spa. For Nick and the Porsche. Number 6. So up to P4. And Rick with a penalty as well. And now needs to be careful to not overcook the tires. P5 would still be a brilliant result for Rick. It's 3.72 Husky. Should be okay. Should be okay. White Tiger. Yeah, Neighbor is nearly winning that race. Oh, he's starting to activate his turbo now. Pretty soon. Right. Stu and Evoque. That 1 second penalty killed Evoque probably. It looks like Stu. That P7, Evoque P8. Which has to still work for his money. It's P9 and Webern in P10. Oh, we lost Henry again. Henry dropped behind SOT in the Mustang in P12. They're on their penultimate lap as well, while the leaders do their penultimate lap now too. Ishmael 5.5 to Sluxy. Another 3 seconds to Equinox. Sluxy trying everything to distract Ishmael. Go for the fastest lap. You can do it. Equinox, speaking of the fastest lap, it's Equinox with that 217.8 with that extra point. Currently, Nick after the overtake opened up that gap to Rick 2.5. It's 2.6 to Husky. So with those, it is the final lap for Nick, Rick, and Husky. While the leaders will be doing one more. We don't want to miss the start of the final lap. So what a race it is so far for Ishmael. Final minute of the race, so when he crosses the line, it will be the final lap. With 6 seconds gap, Ishmael starts that final lap. Slugsy in P2, also on the final lap, and Equinox in 3rd. So next drivers to cross the line will see the checkered flag, and the gaps between Nick, Rick and Husky are big enough. Hello camera. Yeah, nice trees, but let's see some race cars please. Again. So Nick then with a great result, P4 in the Porsche. Rick also, half-second penalty in the end. Yeah, it will be okay to keep that P5. Husky in P6. Stu then best of the McLarens, P7. Evoque in 8th position. Webern versus Ovic. Webern got past Ovic on that final lap. He has to defend the inside line now for the bus stop. Ovic with the late move around the outside into bus stop. Can they make it work side by side? Ovic goes deep, a bit too deep. They leave each other room on the inside. It's a run to the line. Who will get it? And, looks like Ovic gets it. No, oh yeah, Ovic and Webern. What a close finish. SRT in P11. Henry in P12. They will finish the race in P13 after doing a couple of spins, and as I just saw that the stream chat, so texting and driving and spinning. So P13 it is, and then let's give honor and respect to our leaders. What a race it was for Ishmael. Pole position, kept that P1 for the entire race, and crosses the line with the victory. Slugsy first time not winning, still on the podium P2, and stays in front of his main rival Equinox in the championship, who finishes P3 on the podium as well. Alright. So let's quickly take screenshots and have a look at the race results graphics. Ishmael in the Aston Martin with the victory. Slugsy in the BMW P2. So the two FR cars, 1, 2. Then we see many of the MR cars, Equinox, P3 in the Audi, P4, 2, Nick in the Porsche. Then Ferrari with Rick in P5. The second Audi with Husky in P6. Stu and Evoque, the two McLarens, P7, P8. P9, P10, that run to the line between Ovic and Webern, BMW and Porsche. SRT with the brave choice in that Mustang, P11. Henry, the debut, the DTM Series, BMW in P12. They finished that race in P13, and Eco in that third McLaren on the grid in P14. All right, so that's it for round number 4. We will be back next week for round number 5 and just bring up the schedule. So Brands Hatch done, Red Bull Ring done, Monza done, Spa done. Next week Barcelona, the Grand Prix with the no chicane layout, and then season finale in 2 weeks time. It will be the Nürburgring GP layout. And for this lovely little series here. The annual tradition here for now, I think the 3rd year or 4th year in a row already. I run the DTM series. It's always good fun, good racing. Yeah. So that's it from my side. Next video on this channel will be the Touring Cars Cup race that will happen Thursday. So there will be a real life replay stream then, not a stream, a video upload. But yeah, I'll do it as a stream. So yeah, and then next week, of course, yeah, DTM Barcelona Chicane. So that's all from my side. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you had a little bit of enjoyment this race. I certainly had. It was good battles all around. Yeah, see you next time. Take care. Love you all. EKA. Bye bye.